We're going?
Okay.
So, Max,
Okay, yes.
my first question for you, and they're going to get progressively deeper and
God.
more human interesty.
Ooh.
But my first...
I'm also here.
Yes, we got Mo
It's
and
Mo!
Ben here.
He's back there!
Hello.
Okay.
My first question for you is,
Uh-huh.
since you are, at the risk of stating the obvious,
Okay.
a big movie buff,
Yes.
do you remember the first movie you saw as a child, and what do you think of it today?
Oh. In theaters or ever?
Ever.
Ever.
Go. You don't have, if you can't remember the very first one, that's cool, but just go back as far as you can.
As far as I can remember, I guess I would remember Edward Scissorhands. I watched Edward Scissorhands. It was a recorded one on a VHS tape from the TV, and I used to watch it. And I watched it until it broke. And I watched it. My parents were like, "Well, that's okay." And to that, then they said, "Oh, if he likes that, he might like Nightmare Before Christmas." And it just kind of spawned from there. So I love Tim Burton. I still like Edward Scissorhands. I think it's one of the better pieces he's done. It gets weirder and funnier the older you get, especially with the busybodies and the neighbors. It's a really well done film, so at least I don't have to look back on that and regret.
That's so interesting that you mentioned that, because it's like it's such a poignant story, and it's it's really about a guy who's trying to connect with people, which is something it's interesting you mentioned that being the first one to remember, because that's something as kids I think we all
try
go
and
through
find
that journey. Yeah,
which is weird because I actually feel like I understand him more as an adult now. Like
sure,
like, he can't even touch people. Like it's so good.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah.
All right.
Question two.
Question two. Okay. What was question two? Okay. As promised, this is going to be deeper.
Okay.
So one thing I've noticed about you is that you have a real gift for bringing people together, and it's which I think some people take that for granted, but it's like not. I think very few people actually can do that and do it well. Like kind of like do how like you can do stuff like organize the karaoke nights and get like tons of people to come, and that's not everyone can do that. And I was wondering, I mean, maybe it's just something that's like kind of like automatic. But I was wondering, where do you think for you that strength comes from to kind of unite people, essentially?
Naivety. Plain, pure, and simple. I've always been one of those people. I'm just like, if I meet a person, I'm like, oh, I like this person. And then I meet another person, I'm like, I like that person. I was like, why don't we all just hang out together? Like, it never dawned on me that you couldn't like take groups of people and mix them. And so I am also just very inclusive. So I just try to put that out there. Just be like, everyone's welcome to come. Like, maybe you'll meet a new friend, or maybe, you'll find out that I have terrible other friends. But either way, and then I also you always got to make it a point. Just make sure you're always, you go say hi to everyone, because as I like to say, my mama raised me right, and so did my dad too.
I love that because I think for me, there's, and it sounds like you don't have this, which I think is awesome. Like for me, there's always like self-doubt that comes with that kind of thing. It's like, whoa, what if people don't want to come, and then I'll feel rejected?
Oh no, trust me, I get that too. That's why I very rarely throw parties. I'm more of I'm going to go and do this, and I'm going to let everyone know where I'm going to be. And if you want to come join. And that's my policy. Putting together a whole thing stresses me out. Oh, trust me, I get that anxiety too, but I just kind of push past it. Again, naivety, and of course it's going to work out. Why wouldn't it work out?
I like that.
Oh, God.
That's a really good kind of naivety to have. That's healthy. I mean,
the healthy naivety.
Okay, you ready for one final question?
All right, third one. Let's go deeper. Can we get
go deeper. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, perfect. Oh, I feel like I'm about to answer $1 million questions.
Dun, 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 dun.
Who wants to be a millionaire?
I really do.
Okay, now that the fanfare is over,
This is all very constructive.
Always.
So, excluding your home, excluding work, excluding any of the schools you've gone to.
Okay.
What is a place you've been to? It could be any place. It could be in town. It could be somewhere outside of town, someplace you've traveled.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a city or just a block.
Yeah.
What's a place that's been important to you in your life?
Ooh. Oh, what do I think? Actually, it's this stretch of road down McLaughlin, or 99E if you're not from Oregon. It's right next to a park, which I don't know the name of the park, but it's literally it's a 4-lane, it's a 2-lane highway going one way and a 2-lane highway going the other way. It just runs north and south, and it goes right by this park, and it's lined with these trees that have been there since I've been a kid. And to this day, I still remember my mom used to drive through there for work. We would go on trips, we'd come back through, we'd go up, you travel through, and it's just this vein that is running right through the city, and it's just one of the best roads to get through. And that patch right there is so great, because on a sunny day, the light shines through the leaves one way, and it's shaded. It's almost completely shaded all the way down. And then at night, the street lamps light it up in a different way. And right now it's under construction. It's really pissing me off. But when I get through there, I love driving through it at night and at the day and in the morning. I've never driven through. It feels like home. Like, coming through that road makes me feel like I'm in Portland. That is the place. And I still, to this day, if it's like, oh, you can take 99, I'm like, sounds great.
I think I know what you're talking about. It's a real, this kind of intimate pocket in the big, sprawling, bustling world of Portland. Like, there's something very, very serene and peaceful and beautiful about it. It's
also kind of like the transition from Milwaukee. Like, I feel like I go through Milwaukee, which I imagine is home in the suburban area, and I travel through that portal, area in a way to come to the big city of downtown Portland. But it's there, and it's always been there, and people have this really strong reaction for it because the trees get so big that the branches fall into traffic, crushing cars and sending them off the road. And people are like, we really should prune these back. And everyone's like, don't cut down the trees, because we love the trees.
Right.
Everyone loves these trees. And it's great. It's not Laurelhurst Park, but it's right near Selwood. That's my favorite place in Portland, and I drive through it, I ride through it, and it makes me happy.
I love it. Yeah. It's perfect.
All right.
That's all I got.
Okay. Whew. 1 day down. 6 to go.
And cut.